Okay. Oh, he's out. He's out. He's
Okay.
out. Yeah. Okay. This is gonna be. I got him. He got him.
Just
Boom
like
it
a
goes.
classic Bechtold Thanksgiving. Something's going to explode from inside someone. Oh, yucky. What?
Oh, that is. Yep.
Okay.
He lives.
He's
He
alive.
lives.
He's alive.
They're already doing it.
Yeah.
Episode 1. That's
I like
that's
this.
a big deal.
I like
great.
Jon Favreau was like, we are shooting this episode out of a cannon. There will not be a slow build to questions.
Not at all.
Yeah.
Welcome back to New Rockstars. This is our reaction to the Mandalorian Season 2 premiere, The Marshal. Here to be Krayt Dragons. Well, not anymore. Thanks to Mando, Timothy Olyphant, and some iconic Boba Fett armor stared down through a binary sunset by Temuera Morrison, the actor who played Jango Fett in Attack of the Clones, and a clone of whom, and therefore would also look just like Morrison, is Boba Fett. Making this official, Boba Fett lives, folks. His goofy death in Return of the Jedi, not the last we're gonna see of him. Thank the Force.
When he turned into kind of a human bottle rocket. And then flew into a Sarlacc pit.
Yeah, who could forget?
Yes.
Well, this is Wookieeleaks. It's our Mandalorian after show that explains to all the droids out there why a green little baby puppet makes them feel so warm inside. It might be hypertension. Be careful. Get that looked at. I'm Erik Voss. Here with me is Tommy Bechtold. Hey, buddy.
Hey, good to be here. Wow, there's nothing like new Star Wars content to make you feel so much better in the world. Like, this was a little shot of sunshine in my on my TV screen. I was like, I mean, I don't know. There's something about the way this show is done that it's just such great sci-fi. Like, it's really fun. I don't know. We'll get into it more, but man, this was just some good medicine I needed. So I hope other people felt that.
Good sci-fi, really great fantasy, you know, and the way that it fuses both the new with the old. Like they're exploring new horizons in this great Western simple feel, but then just sprinkles in little things like the Krayt Dragon from A New Hope, bringing back Boba Fett, and bringing back things from the Chuck Wendig books of Cobb Vanth. It's just like understands what Star Wars fans really want from these stories, and just like has this beautiful balance. To Favreau's credit, to Filoni's credit, they have such an amazing team there. Well, we'll be here every Friday, by the way, with these after shows. Tomorrow will be my separate in-depth breakdown of the episode, the shot-by-shot breakdown of all the hidden visual details. And this episode especially was littered with subtle visual Easter eggs, homages, audio sounds that might sound familiar, and that's why it's so great. I'm going to break it all down. You're going to see that right away tomorrow, so don't worry. Oh, and by the way, before Tommy recaps the episode for us, I am currently wearing this custom This Is the Way shirt. This is exclusive from New Rockstars' new official merch store. This Mando shirt is our limited run latest obsession. And hot damn, we just announced this on Wednesday and it's already almost sold out.
Wow.
I'm trying to get Philip to order more, but we're not sure since it's supposed to be a limited run. Fingers crossed that he does. We'll see. But the cool thing is that when you buy it for just a few bucks more, you can also write in a custom shout out. It could be a hot take, a theory, a question, screaming at your friends, getting revenge, calling them out for whatever thing they did wrong to you, and not paying their share of the rent on time, whatever it is. That's gonna appear beneath Tommy and me in these Wookieeleaks episodes. You can actually see them below. Our friend Tyler Hood said, actually, Jesus is the way, but whatever.
All right.
Okay.
I like that.
We stand corrected. Okay.
Yes.
And then I see Garrett says, hey, Arnell, I know you'll see this. Happy face. It's your boy.
Yes, Garrett.
Well, Arnell and Garrett, we hope you see this.
Yeah.
And thank you for supporting us. Thank you to all the people down below who support us, and hope you enjoy your merch when you get it very soon. And if you have not bought merch yet, you can go to our great merch store. Check out all the amazing options at newrockstarsmerch.com.
I've been browsing that merch store, Erik. My birthday is coming up. I've been dropping hints all over with my family. I say, here's a link. Please search baby doll cut t-shirts, size medium, and one of each, please. One of each. And I texted Philip yesterday that one way or another, I'm getting my manifesto published on this network, even if it's by 2-sentence shout-outs, one at a time each week. I will have my logic out there for the world to read. All right.
Hey, the 2020 Unabomber would have gotten his message out that way, I'm sure.
Shout out, but I still say it's your boy.
It's your boy.
It's your boy. The government is controlled by lizard people. It's your boy.
All right, Tommy, break down the episode. What happened this week?
Man, what happened this week was Star Wars magic. At the Gamorrean fighting arena, Mando meets Gor Koresh, voiced brilliantly by John Leguizamo. You gotta love a New York City alien. I'm always a sucker for it. After a scuffle,
you gotta get a slice of pie.
Hey, call a taxi cab. We're going to head down to Gino's for a slice and maybe a bowl of marinara after this. First, we're going to take down some bantha steaks. Anyway, I love it. Again, it's the magic of Star Wars where you're watching this ridiculous accent on an alien and you're like, this is good. I care about these characters. Yeah. After a scuffle where Mando lets his whistling birds sing, Koresh tells Mando he can find another Mandalorian on Tatooine. Tatooine getting the winner of multiple pronunciation awards. 3 different characters said Tatooine a different way in this episode, which I love. That is kind of realistic. It's the way like people pronounce different cities all over America different ways. I'm looking at you, Worcester, Worcester. Mando and Baby Yoda return to the desert planet and ride up to the sleepy town of Mos Pelgo, where they meet the Marshal, Cobb Vanth, played by Timothy Olyphant, wearing the famous armor of Boba Fett, pre-selling thousands of action figures with that red sweatshirt underneath the Boba Fett armor. I just like, as soon as he popped up on screen, $100 left my bank account preemptively. They're like, you will be pre-ordering this, which I gotta say, with the armor, it does not fit Oliphant's body as well as my hugs would. I would grab him, wrap him safely, and feel his steel against my steel and sex appeal. Yes.
And I do agree, it did fit him awkwardly. Obviously, it's by design because it's not his armor.
Right.
But he kind of looked like the tall catcher on a Little League team. He's just like, are you really 12? And he's like, yes, I'm 12. That's my wife and my child for watching the bleachers, but I'm 12.
Sit down, Junior.
And he throws it too hard back to the second baseman. He's like, God, why do we got to play with an adult on our team?
Yes, he definitely looked like a Sheriff Woody doll dressed with Boba Fett modifications. But it was,
there's like a snake in my Sarlacc cave.
Someone poisoned the Sarlacc pit. But I think that it served the purpose of immediately letting us know this is not Boba Fett, right? Like that was the point was like, it's like this guy's wearing Boba Fett's armor, but it is not him. So Cobb explains that he bought the armor from Jawas after his town was overtaken by bandits on the night the second Death Star exploded, which was a cool piece of again, explaining the timeline and really hammering it in for people that aren't fanatical Star Wars fans. Like, this is something that if you've seen the movies, you can now really grasp when this is taking place.
I love that they were watching it on like looped replay, like they were in a sports bar. They're like, roll it again.
Huge missed cameo for Al Michaels to play an alien sportscaster. Do you believe in miracles? So he used the armor and Boba's old weaponry to liberate the town and protect its people ever since. Kind of eerily similar to Deadwood, where he came into a town and basically kept it liberated for better or for worse, until that diabolical Hearst came to town. But we'll more on our Deadwood after show, talking wood. Okay, so
title pending.
Yeah, big wood talking wood, holding wood, laying wood. We'll delete all this. Okay, nope. So no, it's all staying in. But a Krayt Dragon terrorizes the town and continues the Star Wars tradition of ripping off Dune, a proud tradition that should be, I believe, commended. Mando agrees to help Cobb slay the dragon in exchange for Boba's army. They team up with a tribe of Tusken Raiders, proving my theory that if two groups of people that don't get along can find common ground and a common enemy in a wild creature that's just trying to live its life, they can destroy anything. To me, the Tusken Raiders Raiders and Cobb and his town, Mos Pelgo, they were like two rival ant colonies that just happened to establish near a house. And instead of fighting each other for dominance and survival, they just decided to destroy the house instead. It was very much like, I'm not taking the side of Krayt Dragons, but it was like that Krayt Dragon was just living its life. It was just doing what Krayt Dragons do. And they were like, we got to kill this thing.
Hey, it's a typical Watchmen Ozymandias argument, right? You want to bring together the warring tribes and get some ugly ass monster from somewhere else for them to fight together.
That's right. So they hatch a plan, but their plan to blow up its belly doesn't work. The dragon spews acid, which was like was like a great like special power twist. Like it kind of reminds me of like in a superhero movie where like you discover a new power. It was like, oh, this thing spews acid.
It spews acid now. It spews acid now.
Yeah, exactly. Which clearly wasn't in the research. Obviously, they did not have the prep to know that was coming. Finally, though, Mando does kill the dragon by getting it to eat a bantha sashimi, raw bantha, with a ton of explosives strapped to it. Boom goes the bantha. Tusken Raiders and townspeople rejoice, finding common ground. that was a Wookiee. What is their thing? They make the same siren noise that was in the Rogue One trailer. The siren, like the Tusken Raiders make a very similar noise. You know, not what I was making, but you get what I'm saying.
It's there. We all hear it in our heads. Yeah.
Mando gets the armor back, and in the binary sunset of Tatooine, Temuera Morrison, the true Boba Fett, watches them from a cliff. Wow.
What an ending.
That to me, I'm not going to lie. When I saw Timothy Olyphant's character show up, before it was revealed, I mean, the voice immediately gave it away, but when I saw that character show up, there was a little part in it that was like, oh, is this going to be the Boba Fett thing? It's just like his armor is on a different person. And I guess it's still cool to see the armor on screen again, but there was a little disappointment in me. But then the more as the episode went on, I'm like, the true Star Wars storytelling tradition is Boba Fett is out there somewhere. He's got to be.
Yes, like, I mean, he's always there.
He's always watching. So what'd you think overall of the episode?
I loved it, and I think that having him watch the binary sunset was an interesting choice, right? Because the binary sunset symbolizes hope, and in a weird way, Boba Fett still being alive has been like a source of hope for many Star Wars diehards to be like, yes, some choices were made in a lot of these movies, but I still cling to hope that my version of these movies could still exist.
Right.
And like, lo and behold, what was once a joke in Patton Oswalt's Parks and Rec scene is now officially canon. I mean, depending on who you ask, Boba Fett had survived, and that's always been true.
Right.
But now we get to see it finally on screen in a major Star Wars title, played by Temuera Morrison. The fact they were able to get him back, I think, is so cool. Now, some people say it might be Rex the clone, because yes, all clones do look exactly like Temuera Morrison in this universe. But obviously, it's Boba Fett. There's no doubt in my mind that that's who this is.
Absolutely, and awesome. What an awesome moment.
And what an awesome episode to like just be a simple tale of two tribes coming together to slay the dragon. And it felt so medieval in a way. There's a fusion of Western imagery. Obviously, it felt like a spaghetti Western in the town of Mos Pelgo. But once they worked together, it felt like we were watching, two Arthurian clans coming together to literally slay the dragon. And that's what like saves the kingdom. And it was just simple storytelling that I think we appreciated. But there's a thematic through line that I really appreciated, just to get nerdy about the deeper meaning that I interpreted here. This idea of armor. So like Mando's original mission, which I think it's easy to forget, this episode began with him like trying to track down another Mandalorian to help him network via the Mandalorian coverts, he called it, which I just think are the sewer clubhouse connection, whatever that is. And he wanted to use that, I guess, to find Baby Yoda's kind, and he repeated this. He's like, I've been quested to bring this one back to its kind. He kind of like robotically echoes it as if the child's name is John Connor. It's like it's so weird that he has that one line, but all of that changes on a dime the second that Mando realizes that Cobb Vanth is not a Mandalorian. It's like his whole world stops, and then he's like, screw the mission, Baby Yoda's kind can wait until next episode. To Mando, this is stolen valor. It is an insult to him. It must be addressed. And in a way, he's obsessed with it. To us, the armor is the thing. It's not the thing inside the armor. It's the shell. Mando's shell is more important to his own identity and his safety than who he is as a human being. Even Gor Koresh talks about Mando like he's an animal, wanted only for his pelt.
Normally I have to seek out remnants of you Mandalorians in your hidden hives to harvest your precious shiny shells.
You think about it, there is some parallelism between Mando's shell game and the layers of armor to the beast. Cobb says that he has never heard of an abandoned Sarlacc pit, to which Mando responds, well, unless the dragon ate the Sarlacc.
Right.
And then we know the Sarlacc ate Boba Fett, so we kind of got this like turducken here, you know, a Russian nesting doll, whatever you want to call it. And the Krayt Dragon's flesh is impenetrable. He kind of has his armor too. Only by blowing it up from the inside can it be killed. And then in its flesh, there was this weird moment that Tusken Raiders find this pearl. What the hell is that? It's some weird true prize, some mystery egg, you might call it. It's kind of the Suga of this season. But Mando doesn't care at all about whatever that is. He walks away. He has his armor. That is his prize. And it's interesting to note that armor has layers to its story. Before Cobb, the armor belonged to Boba Fett, and before Boba Fett, Jango Fett. And according to lore, Jango Fett was from the planet Conquered Dawn. It was a Mandalorian world, but the government of Mandalore disavowed him. They claim that he stole Mandalorian armor, so it's kind of a mixed story. He claims to be Mandalorian. It's probably part of his appropriation. Boba Fett certainly isn't Mandalorian. He was born on Kamino. So we should also point out that armor is not Beskar canonically. It's supposed to be a Durasteel alloy, which makes it interesting why Mando insisted on taking it back, because while it is Mandalorian design, it is not made of Beskar. But I think we're talking about this repurposing, taking things that don't belong to you and finding a new way to use them. That is the story of Star Wars. It's about one generation stealing the discarded junk from the past generation and wearing it like armor just because they need something to protect themselves from the hostile world. Moff Gideon does this with the Darksaber. Rey did it with her pod racer engine speeder on Jakku, which if you watch Cobb Vanth does the same thing. He has a pod racer engine that he uses as a speeder bike. Really, Star Wars, I think, is a story of hermit crabs. They're just swapping shells and they never know or care about the true history of the armor that they are now clinging to. And that's kind of what makes it great. It's a kind of a one man's trash story.
Yeah, I completely agree. And also that expands all the way out to, I believe, the creatives behind Star Wars. New generations of writers are forced to mine discarded Star Wars characters and worlds to create new content. So it's it's an all-encompassing philosophy. Very, very interesting.
And we do have some questions we're going to dig into. Before we do that, though, we want to thank some friends who helped us make this episode. Support for Wookieeleaks is brought to you by Manscaped, the best in men's below-the-waist grooming. Manscaped offers precision-engineered tools for your family jewels. They obsess over their technology to provide you the best tools for your grooming experience. Tommy and I both love Manscaped.
I took a Manscaped to my face yesterday, and let me tell you, no cuts. No cuts.
You will not see any more pubes on Tommy's face thanks to Manscaped.
Not today anyway, but I got a busy Saturday planned, so.
Look, we all want to look good and feel good naked. That's why Manscaped has redesigned the electric trimmer. The Manscaped engineering team spent 18 months perfecting the greatest ball hair trimmer ever created and just released their new and improved Lawnmower 3.0. It's their third generation trimmer. It features a cutting edge ceramic blade with advanced skin safe technology to reduce grooming accidents. It's waterproof. It has a battery that will last up to 90 minutes. That's long enough to hack all the way through a Wookiee's undergrowth.
Yikes, 90 minutes.
Yeah, most of the time you're wrestling and fighting the Wookiee off.
That's right.
But, if you can survive it, you'll get a nice clean patch of skin.
Beautiful. And if you've ever pet a shorn Wookiee, let me tell you, they are... it's just, there's something about a freshly shaved Wookiee that makes you want to throw it all away and move to the Wookiee planet.
The lawnmower also has a 7,000 RPM motor, which isn't quite enough to do the Kessel run in less than 12 parsecs, but it will do the testicle run in 0 bag snips.
Yeah,
that's an off-screen producer Zach original.
That had his fingerprints all over it.
And then he also wrote, I'm not sorry for that joke, and you shouldn't be sorry about your desire to have a nice and tidy downstairs. It's right, Zach. You shouldn't. No apologies.
Good job, Zach.
All right, folks, get 20% off and free shipping on this Manscaped deal with the code Mandalorian at manscaped.com. That is 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com. Use the code Mandalorian. Your balls will thank you. All right, let's move on to some of the big questions we have in this episode. The obvious one being, Boba Fett is back. How did he survive the Sarlacc? And are we going to see him face Mando to get his armor back at some point this season?
You know, I think to answer the first question, I mean, the logical thing is that he somehow regurgitated, you know, like he's a resourceful man, as we know. To be a bounty hunter, you have to be able to evade and escape and get out of scrapes and sticky situations. And I have to think that he triggered some sort of regurgitation from the Sarlacc and spewed his way back out into the grainy sands, the coarse and irritable sands of Tatooine.
Yeah, and I think this episode might have given us a clue as to the story of the Krayt Dragon eating the Sarlacc, you know, that kind of food chain, because for one, it gives us a sense of a vulnerability of the Sarlacc. When a Sarlacc eats you, you're supposed to be digested slowly. And I wonder if the Krayt Dragon eating it, that acidic, whatever the spewing juices of the Krayt Dragon, was able to dissolve the Sarlacc, but not dissolve the armor. And that's why, like, you could see Mando, his armor didn't dissolve. Maybe the Boba Fett armor didn't dissolve. Although when you saw Cobb Vanth wearing it, it did look a little corroded. Yeah, it had some of the same nicks and scratches that we saw before, which were some funny Easter eggs.
And Boba looked a little worse for wear.
Yeah, he did. He had some scarring on him, which I think that's why some people thought it might have been Rex from the series, because he has some scarring. But for sure. But this question of, will Boba Fett try to get his armor back from Mando?
I have to see. I'm torn on this a little bit because, like you said, Boba Fett is not a Mandalorian, so he doesn't have the the religious connection to the helmet and the armor, you know, as Mando says in the first season, weapons are part of my religion, and you know, and presumably the armor is a part of that. I don't know that Boba Fett, I mean, obviously he seems prideful, right? Like, I mean, the little glimpses we have of him in other materials, like, he seems like a person who has like an ego and some pride. So like the idea of something stolen from him and taken from him against his will, I think, is what would motivate him to get it back. But I wonder if this is going to be, if there's a possibility where this is a redemption tale, where like we have an aging, older Boba Fett who's been humbled through these circumstances. He's been injured. He's been, you know, and I wonder if this is a chance for him. Now that the helmet is off, we get to really meet the character, right? So I wonder if this is going to be a chance where instead he is an unlikely ally and maybe earns the armor back rather than getting it through conflict.
You know what's interesting is, like, so Boba Fett clearly survived the Sarlacc and maybe the Krayt Dragon too. So if he survived, why would he part ways? Was it a matter if he just like was tired and he, you know, dragged himself out into the sand and then Jawas found him and then took it off him?
Right.
Maybe, but I doubt it. I think Boba Fett might have intentionally parted ways with the armor.
Sure.
Sold it to Jawas, and that's how it ended up in their hands, because I don't know if he was that. I agree with you. I don't know if he's gonna be that eager to chase down Mando to get that armor back. He might have moved on, but I think what might happen, which this kind of brings us into our next question about the nature of Boba Fett's armor. We know from, like, you know, past canon that technically Boba Fett's armor is supposed to be made of Durasteel, not Beskar. It's a different alloy of metal. I got fact checked on that in the comments of a video a couple of weeks ago.
Got him, guys. Good. We got him.
Got me.
Good work.
But like, I think that's very interesting, because maybe that could be a way that Mando is actually willing to part with it and get it back in Boba Fett's hands, because maybe he brings it back to his armor and they're like, this isn't Beskar. And he's like, but it looks like Mandalorian armor. And maybe that's what brings them back to Boba Fett, is they're like, whoever you got this from is this bounty hunter who did cross paths with the Jedi. Maybe you should go talk to him. So then maybe it's not an antagonistic relationship between these two.
Yeah.
We'll see.
I think that's great. Yeah.
This whole episode did some cool stuff with humanizing the Tusken Raiders in ways that we haven't seen since Attack of the Clones.
Yeah.
I loved seeing them as strategic, as capable of making mistakes, as mixed morality. What did you make of it, Tommy?
You know, I thought that the idea of them interacting in a non-hostile way with other species and other tribes on Tatooine was what was interesting to me. Like, and I think you said it good in the summary, like or rather in the deeper meaning section. The idea of this just being a classic village being tormented by dragon, literally a Krayt Dragon in this case, and villagers having to rise up to defeat the dragon with a mysterious knight from far away coming in to help them slay the dragon. I just like the similar to you. I like the way that they were humanized and given a spectrum of emotions rather than just like hostile, hollering, wild savages, for lack of a better word. You know, like that are often others or outside forces are portrayed that way in film, no matter what the circumstances are. I like that, you know, both sides were fallible, both sides were emotional and reactionary, and ultimately both sides were rational, like you said. It could realize, like, if we don't come together, this thing is just going to keep eating people, and ultimately, at a certain point, we're all going to get eaten by it. So, like, or have to leave our homes. So,
right. A simple, good message that has been true since the dawn of time. But I'm curious, do you think we're done with Tatooine for now this season, or do you think it could be possible that maybe next episode could open with the Mandalorian still on Tatooine and some last minute complications when he tries to leave?
Well, so I don't think we're done. Short answer, I don't think we're done with Tatooine. I think one thing that we do know from the first season of Mandalorian is that this show is very patient. They are willing to leave something for multiple episodes only to come back to it. So there's a chance that we will be diverted to a different point of the story for the next 3-4 episodes. But I think too much was left unanswered on Tatooine for us to be done with it, right? Like, you can't end the episode with Boba Fett staring at twin suns and being like, okay, well, that's the last of that. That's closure on that. It's like, obviously, and I don't think I think much like Obi-Wan Kenobi, he's gonna have to be coerced off that planet. You know what I mean? Like, it feels like he's been there for a while. So
I think we also have the unanswered question of Fennec Shand and who that was. Was that Cobb Vanth who picked her up at the end of episode 5? I was thinking they would have revealed that, or was that actually Boba Fett who picked her up? We'll see. Obviously, we're going to go back there. I have a feeling that for now we're done. I don't think they're going to follow. I think that seemed to be a tease for the whole season of Boba Fett. And I think they're going to find their way back to it. But I think he's going to move on to the next step of his process to return the child. Or maybe he's going to try to sync back up with the armor and he'll find something out about the Durasteel armor. We'll see. All right. We're now going to wrap things up with our favorite segment, the Baby Yoda GIF wrap. The most gifable Baby Yoda moments to bring us cheer, as I guess we're now heading into the holiday season.
Yes.
This wasn't a huge Baby Yoda episode. He was more just kind of watching from the sidelines. But there were some moments. Let's start with our number 3, Baby Yoda squinting because the fire is too bright for his baby eyes. This is a good gif if you feel like, I'm hungover. What day is it? You know, that's kind of a good squinter.
I went too hard last night. I trick-or-treated too crazily.
All right, number 2. Of course, we talked about this in our last week episode. Baby Yoda nopes out of the fight by hiding in his carrier. That's so great. So great.
That's not going to get a laugh from me.
Yeah. And you know what it is? There's a lot of like old Western vibes in this episode. That was like our first tease of that. It felt like the old saloon bartender being like, we got trouble in town.
Also some great like Western catchphrases from Timothy Olyphant, like fitted into the world of Star Wars, like where he's like, sometimes both suns shine on you or something like that.
It was like both sides of the womp rat.
It was like something like similar to like every once in a while the sun shines on your ass or something. There's some Western quote that's like that, but it was that, but it mentioned the two suns. And he said,
I liked how he brought back womp rats. So he's picking us off like womp rats. It's like, do you have any other metaphor to use, sir? Is it all womp rats?
He's just done. And didn't Amy Sedaris' character also talk about womp rats?
Womp rats are a very big deal.
Yeah. Huge.
But our number one Baby Yoda gift from this episode, of course, Baby Yoda hiding in the spittoon.
Oh, yes.
That was a good one.
Yes.
Actually, Junk38 on Twitter captioned this as, "Is the election over yet?" And I feel the same.
I also would like to hide in a spittoon until the election is over.
Yep. Well, be sure to send us your favorite Baby Yoda gifts each week. Use the hashtag Wookieeleaks. It's 2 E's at the end of Wookie. And we will try to feature it in the episode. Oh, also, speaking of other shout-outs we want to do, hopefully you've been seeing all these great comments from the people who bought the This Is a Waste shirt. Early Monica captioned, "Vote November 3rd," and asks, what is the first thing everyone will do post-pandemic? Keep it PG. Absolutely. Thank you, Monica. Everyone, vote November 3rd. Try to vote early if you can. Do it safely. Mask up. However you feel most comfortable. Post-pandemic. What do you think, Tommy? Well, I'm not going to watch that Songbird movie, that's for sure.
No, I auditioned for that, and I've never been happier to not be in something, because I think that movie is going to be maligned when it comes out. I'm going to be spending a lot of time with my son. I will be spending a lot of time with my son. But what's better than one son? Oh, that's right. Twins and twins. They're definitely fraternal, but I love them both equally, no matter what. So
one's looking a bit sloth-like compared to...
Whose baby am I? Bad you've been. Bad you've been. You guys hate.
I think, Monica, the thing I'll do after the pandemic's over is go to all my friends' weddings that they all had to postpone.
Holy cow, you're right. I think we'll be at some of the same ones, and is there going to be a lot of them. Maybe we'll get married. Erik and I might have a civil ceremony. We might make it.
Maybe. It's anything's possible, right?
Yeah.
Hey, and to all of you watching, one last reminder that you can get this exclusive New Rockstars This Is a Way shirt at our New Rockstars merch store, along with a ton of other great options, including there's like a "Hi, I'm Erik Voss" shirt that you might like. You can get all this at newrockstarsmerch.com. But that's it for this episode of Wookieeleaks. Thank you, Tommy. It's been so great, and I'm so excited watching this season with you.
Me
I think
too.
There's a lot of fun in store.
Absolutely. Thank you, Erik. Your insight, as always, is a lot of fun to listen to.
You can follow me at EA Voss, follow Tommy at Tommy Bechtold, and subscribe to New Rockstars on YouTube. But also subscribe to the Wookieeleaks podcast feed wherever you get your podcasts, and you can leave us a nice rating and review if you don't mind. That would really help people get their eyes and ears on this. I'll see you tomorrow for the Easter egg breakdown on the channel, but we will see all of us next Friday for our next after show of episode 2, technically chapter 10. But until then, we have spoken.